welcome to the channel. My name is Georgia. Today I'm going to be watching season 3 episode 3 of Bridgerton. If you want access to my uncut reactions, the link to the Patreon page will be in the description below. Last episode, if I'm honest, everything that happened in the episode has been eclipsed by the fact that Colin and Colin and Penelope kissed for the first time, and it was not done in the way I expected it to. It was very untraditional. If that's the moment Colin realizes his feelings, I think I like it. Hopefully she'll start pursuing someone else, and then he'll be having all these like growing feelings come to the surface, and it'll be so painful for him to watch, and that'll be uber satisfying considering what Penelope has had to sit through for the past 2 seasons, watching him court Marina, overhearing him say that he would never court Penelope Featherington, and now this man is about to be wholeheartedly in love with her. It's what he deserves. I'm a bit sad because I don't think their lessons will continue now that the whole Ton knows about it. It got exposed that Colin was helping her find a suitor, which probably makes her look even sadder to potential courters, to everyone else. I mean, there's gonna be ladies in the Ton that are going to be so happy to rip into the Featheringtons about that fact, but you know what? She'll be getting the best match of the season, so fuck off. The Featherington side storyline was also quite funny this season. Lady Featherington is really pushing her daughters to produce an heir, and they were both talking as if they knew exactly how to produce an heir and giving excuses as to why they haven't done it. But then it turned out that one of them, I can't remember which, I want to say Prudence, but then no, probably Philippa. I don't know which is which, I'm sorry. She was very confused, and it turns out that all she had done is kiss her husband since she married him. Because that's all it took for him. You know what I'm saying, okay. So that was very funny. The Mondriches had their first entrance into high society, and it was a bit of a culture shock for them. They put all these rules in place all of a sudden, like they had to sleep in different beds, they had to dress a certain way. But then after that conversation with Benedict, they realised the rules don't apply to us. We're married, we're not courting. Who cares? So they're gonna be sleeping in their own bed, they're gonna be wearing what they want and doing whatever the hell they like. I love that Benedict was the one to like show them that, because I always feel like he's been kind of woke, hasn't he? Benedict and Eloise are arguably the most woke people in the show. The least traditionalist, let's say that, because woke is used as such a bad term nowadays. But yeah, so I really like that he was the one to make them realise that, and now they're hopefully going to be a lot more comfortable with their new lifestyle. Is this pre or post kiss?
Thank you for meeting me. I apologise for the late hour, but I had to see you immediately.
Post?
I can barely speak these days. My entire thoughts consumed by...
This is a dream.
By our kiss. By you.
Penelope, honey, if only this were real. I'm so sorry.
You my every thought.
Ah, no. Ah, there's no way this is real, and I'm salty. Salt has gone. Hold the phone. That's better than it being real almost. Oh my god. I fully thought with her moaning there, like, oh Colin, I thought she was gonna like be saying that in her sleep. And she was gonna get woken up by the maid or something being like, No, that was Colin. Oh my god. So his feelings have been awakened. Thank goodness.
Morning, family. You slept late. Did I?
He had a wet dream.
I slept peacefully. No sooner did my head touch the pillow that I was met with complete and immediate darkness.
Jealous. My insomniacs, where you at?
I think Penelope is quite fortunate to have you as a friend.
She is, very good acquaintance of families, of course.
You all right? Lord Debling spends half his time devoting himself to nature and the other half talking about it. He is a bore.
Talking about nature is not the worst trait in a husband.
I do not think I will grow a belly when I'm a chap. I've always kept quite an elegant figure.
That would be simply impossible.
It is the child itself.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Its little head and body inside me.
God, she will not be prepared for the pain that comes with delivering that child.
There is a visitor for Miss Penelope.
Eloise or Colin. I've met with this dilemma every time. Oh, it's Eloise this time.
It's quite harsh what she wrote about you. Unnecessarily so, I think. I fear it may have been my fault. The rumour about you and Colin got out, but you should know it was not intentional.
I'd not reproach you if it was.
It wasn't.
Would you like to come in?
I'm meeting a friend.
Why am I tearing up at that?
I do hope you find what you are looking for this season.
I've been waiting for that. Eloise actually looked very apologetic, and I think it took a lot of her to come and apologise for that. Any disdain I had towards her last episode is now forgotten.
And I apologise for not coming to see you earlier.
Oh, it is for the better that you did not.
Is it?
Isn't it?
I would not know how to act in her
We cannot continue our
position.
lessons.
Oh, is it because of what happened between us?
No, no, but I assure you nothing of the kind will ever happen again.
We'll see about that.
Whistledown has written about us. I have embarrassed myself and my family, and if we were to continue, I would embarrass yours as well.
Yes, that is very sensible.
He looks like he's lost control of all of his senses right now.
Prospects are important.
Prospects which have gone from very little to even less, but I must do my best.
Yes, you must. I wish very much for your happiness.
Thank you for all your kindness. If I secure a proposal, it will be because of you.
Suck on that. Oh, he's so cute now though. I love this because Rake Colin, he was swoon worthy, I guess. For the other ladies at least. But he was not it for me. Putting on this bravado, this I don't care about anything, I'll sleep with any woman act. That's not Colin. He fell hard for Marina in season 1. He proposed to her almost instantly. He's always struck me as a very romantic person. So seeing him just randomly sleeping with people last episode did not feel like Colin Bridgerton to me. And in fact, this whole season, as soon as he arrived with this new handsome look, his new fake tan, his air of personality that had changed, that everyone was so impressed by, I was like, this ain't Colin. This is not the Colin we know and love. This is not the Colin Penelope loves. This is not the Colin that will fall for Penelope. And I'm so glad that he has changed from that person to this bumbling idiot immediately. Like, without fail. He kissed her and now he's having dreams. He's stumbling over his words. He told her last episode the confidence can be faked. And now look at him. He is stumbling over his words left, right and centre. He's a bumbling fool. And I'm so glad to see it. It's so much cuter than just this confident person that pretends he doesn't care.
If you do not find a husband soon, your father and I will be forced to find one for you. How vast is his estate, exactly?
Are you in a position to be picky, Cressida?
I would certainly rather be predator than prey.
You're speaking to the man who cares about nature and only eats vegetables.
You should know, I spoke to Penelope.
What did she say?
I apologised for revealing the story about you two.
Thank you for that. Excuse me.
He is stressed.
I did wonder if there might be some kind of introduction from the Queen. And I'm inclined to think he shall be the best suitor for me.
Because it is easier?
Because I trust the Queen.
I love how Violet doesn't try and force them to just marry whoever approaches them. She's a romantic at heart too, and she tries to instill that in her children. And they'll all end up having their own love story.
Are you enjoying your evening?
Are you in search of a new prospect to help you find a husband?
Dickheads.
Good luck in both endeavours.
Fuck you. I could never show my face in society again, I don't think.
Are you assessing your pupil?
Oh.
Can everyone stop mentioning it?
But unlike the rest of the town, I do not find what you did shocking, but rather considerate.
Thank you.
Gallant, even. And
I
I'm sure
agree.
because of your kind-heartedness, she will find herself a husband in no time.
Stop there before you piss him off.
Good evening, Miss Featherington.
Good evening.
Enjoying the party?
Oh, he's not avoiding her.
You will not take pity on a hunted man.
Unfortunately, I require all pity for myself, but I can offer you social contagion in exchange.
You must have done something truly heinous.
I'm loving this interaction. Like, Penelope, for once, feels comfortable talking to this guy. I shouldn't say this guy, he's Lord Debling. She's not trying to put on an act. Oh, how's your night going? She's just like, I'm feeling pity for myself, sorry, so I can give you some social contagion, I guess. She's talking to him like she would a friend, and I think that is what certain men want. Other men want the prim and proper, perfect, pretty diamond of the season girl. Lord Debling strikes me as the kind of guy that would want someone being real, not someone putting on an act to impress him. And Penelope is just talking to him like she would Colin, or Eloise, or someone she was very comfortable with. She clearly feels more comfortable around him than any of the other lords. I don't think she's trying to pursue him though. That's probably the difference. She's not trying to impress him, so it's just coming naturally. But he approached her. I don't think he's the kind of person that wants to be, you know, hunted by these mamas and their children. He can end up taking a shine to her, and I would love that.
You do not read Lady Whistledown?
Oh yeah, that's what I was actually going to say first. He doesn't read Lady Whistledown, so he doesn't know about the scandal. Perfect match! If she married him, she could do her misdeeds and he wouldn't even know anything about it. He wouldn't know what she's writing. So he would be the perfect husband to keep her job a secret.
He enlisted an eligible male friend to help me find a husband.
Well done.
For being a fool.
For stepping away from the herd. Even though you risk becoming a target.
He appreciates that value in her.
In fact, I find your frankness immensely refreshing.
I knew it! I knew it! This is the kind of thing I need injected into my veins.
How are you?
I'm well.
He can't stop looking at her now.
Surprisingly well. Lord Debling has shown an interest in me. I was feeling low. In fact, it somehow allowed me to stop caring so much about how I am perceived, and I was simply myself.
And he liked you for you.
Do you feel some attachment to him?
It is early. He does seem to have a strength of character. He is not unpleasant to gaze upon.
What is it with the Bridgerton siblings getting horny watching their significant other eat food?
Great all. A word to the wise, Lord Debling may not appreciate you calling his life's work silly looking.
You know what? Maybe he'd be alright for Eloise. Like, Eloise actually seems to know about the things that he's interested in. Eloise hates pretty much everything that is traditional about society, and he definitely is not a traditional male suitor. When things don't work out with Penelope, he could be an alright guy for Eloise. He's one of the best of the bunch so far. I'll let the season progress so we can find out more about him. He could turn out to be a real meanie behind the scenes who puts a lot of restrictions on his wife, which wouldn't be great. But so far so good for Lord Debling in my eyes, and Cressida doesn't deserve him and is not a good match.
I decided long ago to forge my own path, far away from them. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yes, men had the freedom to do that, didn't they? She doesn't.
Over here.
Oh, I love him!
Do you not wish to intrude?
Nonsense. I'm about to embark on another trip with no one but my crew. Surely you will not deny me the company while I have the pleasure of it.
Oh, look at her getting an offer right in front of Cressida's face.
What's the name of that bird I was telling you I adore?
The Great Auk.
Did you know they mate for life? I find that so touching.
What a tryhard.
I love birds as well.
There is so much focus on this balloon. What is going to happen?
As I have found a more durable...
Benedict avoiding every mama at every turn is so funny.
Steering or not, it seems they might make for useful vehicles to escape the eager mamas present outside.
I am sorry, but is this tent a balloon? Because you all are certainly filling it with air. I came here to listen to someone who thinks differently, not to hear the familiar chorus of what cannot be done.
Thank you, my lady.
Is this Benedict's future wife?
I do so enjoy learning about the passions of others.
I'll say, I know the name of Benedict's love interest, and I also know who Eloise ends up marrying. That's the only two spoilers I know from the books. Considering I think one of those two will be next, it's not completely awful that I know their name. I would think that one of them will get set up in this season. That woman there could be Benedict's future wife. I will keep tabs on her until I remember her name.
Lord Samadani has been living in Vienna, but I asked him to come to London specifically.
She's
to meet
already
you.
introducing her to
He's a
someone.
Marquis.
I hope I do not disappoint.
I am confident you will not.
It is electrifying, is it not?
Is it?
There is nothing I love more than grass.
Oh God.
What about grass do you so love, Miss Featherington?
Oh, it's so green.
Don't try and pretend, Penelope. This is not what he likes. You're gonna get neck strained soon.
I must feel your lips upon mine. You've never looked more windswept.
Is it going to be just kissing?
Help me! Now!
Why do they all look so funny running then? No one feels like saying, let's move. They're just all like... Penelope, move! Oh god. Oh, Lord Debling. Hello. Colin, what a hero.
It was a good thing no one was injured.
She would not have cared if
says I
Penelope
wasn't.
was. Oh, for God's sake. Constantly looking
so
for her in
upset
every
with me?
room now.
No, Eloise, we are well. I'm simply in my own thoughts.
And they're only consisting of one thing right now.
I believe this is yours.
Who are you?
Thank you.
Potential suitor for Violet? Hello?
I love my family dearly, but it can be rather lonely to be among them all at once, can it not?
I believe it to be quite the opposite. I wish to have 8 children of my own, so my home will always be filled with constant chatter.
You expect her to bear 8 children? No thanks.
See, you have met my brother.
Your
Her
brother,
brother?
Lord Marcus Anderson.
Violet Bridgerton. Lady Bridgerton, the dowager, formerly.
All's fair in love and war. Lady Danbury shagged her dad. She can go for her brother. Who's this man now?
Good evening.
So many new men this evening.
Forgive me, I was simply...
In need of some quiet. I've been in search of it all night. Perhaps we can enjoy the silence together.
A kindred spirit, perhaps? That's very awkwardly wholesome. Ah.
Courage is within us all, as long as we are honest with ourselves and about our feelings. It is possible to do anything.
Miss Featherington, if you'll excuse me, I'm fetching Miss Cowper a lemonade.
Is he disappointed in her for pretending last time they spoke?
I was pretending to be someone I am not. I'm someone who enjoys a good book more than exploring the natural world. Someone who does enjoy watching birds, but specifically from the windowsill.
Oh, he's
How many
smiling.
ewes are there exactly? Where do you hide them all?
Behind a payphone quill as one.
I want to be with someone who knows who they are and embraces their own peculiarity, as I do, as I believe you do as well.
It is so strange. Rooting for her so hard to be with Colin, but also wanting her to find someone else that likes her for her as well.
I thought you believed the best foundation for great love was friendship.
Indeed, I do. It is how your father and I began.
How did you and father know it was reciprocated?
Because he gathered the courage to ask.
Has she clocked?
Well,
Oh, look at her little face.
Are you well?
That's such a that's such a deep look.
needing to ask it.
Our instinct.
Are you doing it now?
The innate animal impulse that is inside even the most sophisticated of us.
Hi, Miss Featherington. I believe it's time for our dance. Mr. Bridgerton.
I get such a giddy feeling inside me when I see the dances.
Suffice it
Even
to say,
more so when it's someone getting
this
jealous over
author
a dance.
is
But,
captivating.
you know.
For in the battle between man and nature, the battle is in fact between man and himself.
Would you look at that? Colin Bridgerton, all those chances he had to dance with Penelope in the past, and he didn't utilise them to his full advantage. I bet he's kicking himself now. I'm sorry, but I love Lord Debling. I'm not rooting for him to be with Penelope over Colin. No way, Jose. But as a love interest, he is a great guy. He's a bit like Prince Friedrich in season 1, where he's a perfectly viable, a perfectly nice love interest, but we know he's not going to end up with the person that he wants. And I feel a bit bad for him in that respect because he seems like such a lovely man, a genuine person, and for him to not end up with Penelope is going to suck for him. but I hope that he'll find the right person. You know, Prince Friedrich has ended up with Edwina. She was nice as well, so hopefully he'll find a good match. And if he ends up with Cressida, I swear to God, I will start a petition on his behalf because he doesn't deserve that. Also, he's an environmentalist. He is so ahead of his time. I presume he's a vegan or at least a vegetarian. They say he only eats vegetables, but surely he eats fruit too. He doesn't just live off vegetables, right? That is so restrictive. Fruit doesn't come from animals. You can eat those too, sir. But you just know that in 2024, Lord Debling will be voting for the Green Party, and for that, I stand with him. He doesn't care about societal norms. He just wants someone who is genuinely themselves. And I love that conversation he had with Penelope, saying that he doesn't want someone that's exactly like him. He wants someone that's willing to be open and honest about who they are and accept that within themselves. And that's what Penelope is trying to be. I think she only lied because it was Cressida. If it had been any other person there trying to court Lord Debling, I don't even think she'd try that hard to impress him. But it's because it's fucking Cressida Cowper, the woman that puts her down every time she can. She just wants to do her best to one-up her, but she doesn't need to put that much effort in to one-up her when it comes to Lord Debling, because he is a saint. I love that balloon scene. That was so funny how serious Colin got, because you know that if that was anyone else stood at risk of getting hit by that balloon, he would not be doing the most. If it were just Lord Debling and Cressida stood in front of that balloon, he would let it hit them. He wouldn't be commandeering everyone to come and help, but because it was Penelope, because he had that burning fire inside of him now, he was shouting to get everyone's help because he couldn't stand her being in harm's way. I love the person that he became this episode, just a bumbling idiot in love, struggling to accept that within himself, but also not having the sense of self enough to hide it very well. Like, Violet has now picked up on it. He was just staring at Penelope, and I love that though, the dedication of Luke Newton playing that, because every time it shot to Colin, he was looking at Penelope in whatever social event they were in. His neck was constantly craned towards her direction, just not unable to keep his eyes off her. Even in shots where he was in the background, he was always looking in that direction. Props to the dedication there, where he was genuinely just, his eyes were focused on her at all points. Never was a beat missed in this episode. He still had those moments where he was being courted by people and he was acting, you know, putting on the bravado, acting a certain way to impress them. But in each of those moments, he got distracted by Penelope in them. This man is in love, and we love it when people are in love. Lady Danbury's brother has come into the show now. What? And he's a potential love interest for Violet? Like, I know I might be reading too much into it, but they had 2 scenes together. And for what if it's not a romantic reason? I would quite like to see her find someone, because, you know, Lady Danbury was widowed. She just lived as a widow forever. But just because Violet was in love with her husband so deeply and they had so many children together, it doesn't mean that she has to live alone forever as well. Especially if she's got to move out of the Bridgerton household and live alone. That would suck. If she strikes up a spark with someone else, why not go for it? Lady Danbury looked a bit perturbed because I think she sensed some vibes there. But in her youth, she went for Violet's dad, so she can't hate. I loved the scene of Eloise apologising to Penelope right at the start of the episode. I'm so appreciative that she did that. The thing that she wrote about herself shows that there are no bounds for her. She didn't write about Eloise maliciously. She has to report on certain things to avoid suspicion, and she is rooting for her to get what she wants. You can tell that she's hurting being away from her. The way her voice broke when she apologised and said that she was rooting for her, it made me tear off. It was such an emotional moment seeing them interact, like, you know, properly nicely on both sides for the first time this season. How much they both do long to be together. I know Eloise is getting along with Cressida and helping her, but like when it comes to every other woman in the town, she's like, ugh. Just hearing them talk about how they planned their whole wedding and everything. No one else listens to Eloise gabber on like Penelope did, but that just proves that Eloise didn't probably listen to all of Penelope's hopes because she was busy doing all of the talking. So I hope when/if they do become friends again, it will become a lot more balanced, because I still want them to be friends again, but I want it to be on equal footing. I do wonder how the whole Lady Whistledown stuff is going to go though this season, whether Colin will find out before they get together or after, if Penelope will stop doing that if she gets with Colin. Yeah, I'm very intrigued about that, and I think that's why I was more excited about this season than any other, not just because of the fact that I've shipped Colin since episode 1 of season 1, but also because she is Lady Whistledown, and that poses a whole new threat to a potential relationship. What Colin could think of that. We know that he has a hatred for Lady Whistledown, especially from the end of episode 1 this season. He said he would ruin her life if he found her. So there's so much angst that will come from that revelation, and I'm just kind of waiting for the ball to drop, and whether it will be before they get together or after, I don't know. I think probably after. I haven't watched the season, I don't know how it's going to go, but I just guarantee that however it goes, I will probably love it either way, just because I'm rooting for Pauline in every sense of the word. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching my reaction to season 3 episode 3 of Bridgerton. If you want access to my uncut reactions, the link to the Patreon page will be in the description below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for episode 4. Bye!
I like them sweet but naughty, dimples on the cheeks. I bet you taste like berries. So